Well, let's take you to India now, because the Indian low-cost carrier Go First has filed for bankruptcy owing to a severe cash flow crunch. The airline has blamed its US engine supplier Pratt & Whitney for not supplying working engines, which it says resulted in the airline's downfall. Now, in a statement, Pratt & Whitney responded, saying it's committed to the success of its airline customers. Our India business correspondent Archana Shukla has more.
From planning an IPO early last year to filing bankruptcy now, Go First's story has really changed. The airline had been cash-strapped for much of last year, as nearly half of its aircrafts are grounded, 25 out of 61 Airbus aircrafts. Reason? Faulty engines. Now, these aircrafts are powered by engines exclusively supplied by Pratt & Whitney, and most of those have been faulty. Company says the engine supplier refused to comply with an order to release engines or even supply serviceable spares. With further engine failure expected in the next 3 to 4 months, airline operations will be made unviable. It has in fact also filed a complaint in a US court against the engine maker. Now, with almost half its fleet unavailable, it has meant frequent flight cancellations. It has meant a drop in share in the Indian aviation market, which has seen fierce competition and new players. Airline says it has lost over $1.3 billion. Some of its planes have been repossessed by lessors on non-payment of dues. It may be facing fuel payment issues as well, since it was moved to cash and carry by oil companies. Local reports say the airline has cancelled most of its flights for the next 3 days, starting 3rd of May. The airline is owned by a prominent corporate family, the Wadia Group here in India. And in fact, last year, they were looking and talking to possible investors to sell stake and raise funds owing to the crunch, but no luck so far. It's also important to note, because Go First is not the only airline affected by faulty Pratt & Whitney engines and the supply glitch. Another low-cost carrier, Indigo, is also stuck. Between the two of them, 60 aircrafts are grounded for lack of spare parts. And in fact, that forced the country's aviation regulator to take note last month and seek solutions as well.
Archana.